Hey everybody, it's Juju from Juju's Journey. I decided to come live today, or come on camera, because I've never done this before. So while I'm getting dressed, ready, I just got out the shower. I decided today is a Monday. I have to start everything on a Monday. For those of you that don't know, I'm 57 years old. I'm a widow coming up on 1 year. And this is a very difficult time because this is the time of the year last year when our whole life was basically starting to crumble before us. And we were trying to be optimistic and we didn't know what we were dealing with. And then things happened and it was like it started and it was over in like a month and a half. We weren't not prepared. We were devastated. But grief is a funny thing. It really is. I mean, one day you think you're going to survive, and then the next day you're like, you don't know how you're going to survive. But you got to keep pushing forward. So that's what my goal is. So I started Juju's Journey YouTube channel. I set it up probably about 3 or 4 months before I even did the first budgeting video. And whenever I set it up with the intention of it not just being a budgeting channel. It was basically about my journey. And so I decided, why not? Today's Monday. I have to start things over on a Monday. I was sick for a couple of weeks. Like, I even had to get an antibiotic, and I really try not to. I'll try to let my body fight, what's going on. But I had a big wedding to go to, which was in Charleston, South Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful city here in our home state of South Carolina. I'm sure y'all have heard of Charleston. It's where supposedly Gone with the Wind was set. Very historical town or city. Beautiful. Spent several days. Spent way too much money, which is fine. I'll get back on my budgeting journey. But I haven't done anything since I got sick. And I felt good enough whenever I went that I thought, okay, I'm good. But then when I got home, I kind of relapsed, and now I'm feeling good again. And I have ADD, undiagnosed by a doctor, but I've worked with children my whole life, and I definitely have ADD, but I love it. I would never go on medication. I think it makes me who I am. My husband may not have enjoyed it, but he put up with it. I don't know if when you watch these videos, Neil, that talk about ADD, adults with it, I just laugh because it's so funny. Because you literally have to make a note for normal tasks. Like, you have to, you can put off things. If you go to clean up, you'll clean up half of something and then go to something else immediately. But anyway, today is Monday, and I always start things new on Mondays. I mean, if I'm going to start exercising, it's going to start on a Monday. If I want to start, like if I'm going to put up Christmas, I have to get things out of the attic on a Monday. I mean, it's just the way it is. But what's so funny about ADD is that, like, in your work environment, you are completely own it. Like you're almost a perfectionist when it comes to working for other people. And you can get a lot done too. You can pull off the unimaginable when you have to. And that kind of gives you a sense of urgency or high. We, you know, you may start planning your Thanksgiving menu months ahead of schedule, right? But then you just won't go buy the ingredients until maybe a couple of days before. And then you kind of piddle your way around getting everything ready. And the people who live in your house will say, you know, what are you doing? You have everything's kind of chaotic. And you're like, no, it's fine. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden, the day before Christmas, when you have 30 people coming to your house, or the day before Thanksgiving and you have 30 people coming to your house, it's just like everything. You just start all of your plans in your head, all the little things that you've been doing, it just all comes together. It's just quite amazing. And I taught preschool for years, like 20 some odd years, and we had tons and tons of parties and events and everything you can imagine during those 9 months of school. That it's quite amazing. Like, you sit down afterwards and you're like, did we complete that? So basically, I would never ever ever change I would never change that about myself. I have one daughter we're identical. So she's going to host Thanksgiving because I'm not there yet. I just can't do it. And so, I told her I'd help her get organized. She's good though, because her husband is a little bit OCD. And so they kind of balance out each other. But she has 2 children that we have to kind of go through and get, she wants to go through their toys. They're young, so it's not, they outgrow toys. She wants to declutter, and I told her I'd try to help her. But I told her she had to make a list, because people with, we like to check off things to make sure that we know that we've actually accomplished something. But I am still planning on doing budgeting. I've got to sit down in a little bit and pull up my accounts and go through my binders. And I don't think I'm 1 month ahead any longer, but that's okay. I've got to live life. At least I'm not, I didn't spill bill money. That's the main thing. And I wouldn't take back going and having the time that I did. The person that got married is my best friend from over 30 some odd years. We're the type friends that, when life happens and you get busy, you may talk once in 6 months on the telephone. But then we're the first person that we call when something happens, and we know we can depend on each other, like we're there. And then sometimes, your life mean, all of our children are now grown. It was her daughter that got married, and she's, I think, 32. And her son is the one who named me Juju. And he passed away when he was 16. And we went on that journey together, like really together. And of course, I knew both of them before they were born. So this was a very special wedding. And our children grew up together. And so we had a really good time. I was glad I was there for her. She needed me there. It was kind of weird going and checking into a hotel by yourself. But my husband didn't do hotels, so he would never have gone. He may have gone for the day, and to get to Charleston from where I live is a 2.5-hour drive at least, maybe almost 3 hours if you get caught in traffic. And he would have gone and we would have come back the same day because he just did not he was not comfortable in hotels. He just said he didn't like sleeping in a bed that all these other people had slept in. And I get it, because when you think about it, it's kind of there, but I can just go with the flow and put all that out of my head. So I had fun. I was glad I went. I wasn't by myself because I had so many people that I knew that were staying in the same hotel. But it's kind of weird. All the trips that I've been on since my husband passed away, I've been with my children. And so this was the first time I've gone away when it's just been me without my support of my immediate family, which I would consider my best friend immediate family. She's an only child. I'm basically an only child, so we complement each other very well like that. But I'm sorry, y'all. I did not wash my hair today. When you get gray-headed, your hair does get a little bit dry. So today's Monday. I'm going to start everything new. Like I said, I'm coming live for the very first time on Juju's Journey. I'm going to sit down today and make out a list of all the things I want to accomplish. And when we make our list, we do not accomplish everything on our list. We make the list super duper long. We shouldn't do that, but we do. And we don't ever get everything done. But I did not put away Christmas last year. I know that's a very, very weird thing to tell somebody, that their Christmas has been up for almost for a year. I have 2 Christmas trees, one in my den, one in the living room. I have every single Christmas decoration that I've used for the past couple of years. Of course, I have more that are sitting on my dining room table. I decorated a lot because my husband really, really loved Christmas. And so we were decking out the house, but he passed away December 11th last year, and I didn't get everything out. Plus we were going back and forth to the doctor, so I didn't get everything put out. And then when he died, I just didn't do it. I didn't put it away. My children tried to come over and help put it away, and I told them, no, I'm not ready yet. And then when 4 or 5 months went by, I said, you know what, if I pack it up and put it away, I may not get it back out. And I'm not going to deck out like that anymore. So I decided instead of decorating for Christmas this year, which I still will, I'm going to go through all of my ornaments, organize them, keep the ones that I want to use, keep the decorations that I really want to use, and then I will let my children come over and pick out what they want, and then I'll decide what to do with what I don't use. I do sell on eBay. Actually, I have an order I've got to pack up today and get out. I haven't been posting on eBay. I need to do that too. I have so much stuff to list. I was very fortunate. I inherited some awesome clothes that, of course, I would never wear, but the person who did wear them loved her clothes, and so it would give her great joy to know that people are shopping for her clothes. And she's been passed away now for 7 years. And right time I list anything of hers, it sells within like 24 hours. And she is just like so delighted that her taste is still that good and that her quality of clothes are that good that they sell like this. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I am definitely still very sinusy, very nasally. Let me show you this real quick. My daughter, before I went away to Charleston to the wedding, she loaned me her little, this is like a hair dryer, but it has all these cool attachments. Like this is the round brush attachment. I bought this cute little bag to put it all in. I ordered one and it came in after I came back. But you have these two little attachments. One's left and one's right. And it kind of brings your hair, like sucks it in and makes these little curls. You've got an attachment for just a regular brush. And then you have an attachment for the regular hair dryer. So I have naturally curly, frizzy hair. And a lot of times I'll just, take a shower and put mousse on it and just let the curls go. And it's not that curly, it's just more of a wave. But now that I have this, I feel like I can, it's just so cool. Watch this. So, well, first of all, let me brush it out. I bought this on Temu for like $27. And it's a knockoff of one of those expensive brands. And my girls, they know all of this stuff and they say it's awesome. And so I started using it. And it takes me literally no time to do my hair, even from wet. I meant to put some heat product in it, but I have some from yesterday. I guess it's called a heat protector. So remember, whenever I was young, we used to use a round brush and a hair dryer. And I know they've had things like this out on the market, but this one's really powerful. And anyway, I like it. So I guess basically the reason I'm coming on is to have a video diary, because it's been 1 year since the most devastating journey that I've ever started in my whole entire life began. I mean, when you're with somebody for as many years as my husband and I were, I don't care if you were with them for 2 years, 1 year, dating for whatever, it's still devastating, you know? And I don't know, I'm just having a hard time right now. So I decided that I've got to start living and get my act together. I've got too much to focus on and too much to do. So I said, well, maybe if I start making videos, then I can make myself accountable. So if y'all have ever gone on this journey of losing, I know everybody goes on the journey of losing. Right time we're born, I mean, we're dying, right? But if anybody has any tips, suggestions, I don't have a lot of money, but I do want to have more experiences. I usually pin my hair up because I don't like my hair on my face. But if I go somewhere and I have to pull it down and look more presentable, all I have to do is do like this. And, you know, it's fixed. Look how good. And my hair's gray because I got really, really sick a couple of, I would say over 10 years ago. I became septic, and anyway, I ended up wearing glasses and all my hair turned white. And I'm not dyeing it anymore. That process is too much. But anyway, so I'm going to make out a list. I'm going to check my checking account. That's going to be scary. And I'm going to make my life accountable, and we're going to do some things. I've got to go through all my Christmas. I want to finish my craft room. I want to really get serious about posting on eBay because I want to get rid of all the stuff that I have in my house. I want to start downsizing. I live in a 3,000 square foot, 5-bedroom, 3-bath home that is a little bit too much for me, but I'm not quite ready to move. I mean, there's some things I have to button up with my husband's estate, not our personal part of it, but his mother passed away a year and a half before he did, and her estate was quite a lot larger than what my estate's like, but unfortunately there's a lot of stuff that goes along with that and then I just recently found out it's not being executed like it should, and it's a big deal. So that's a lot of stress on me and a lot of heartache also, because I don't know. When people die, people do crazy things, I've noticed. And then I've got my uncle who helped raise me. He's in the nursing home. And I went and saw him yesterday. He is not doing good at all. And his daughter lives in another state. So that basically puts me under a lot of stress of trying to care for him. And I've already cared for my mother-in-law, and I cared for my aunt who was like my mom when she was sick. And it's hard. And it's really hard whenever you're trying to also care for yourself. So, I don't know. I'm not depressed. I guess I am depressed, but I'm not so much depressed that I can't still find joy in life. And that's what I'm going to focus on. Of course, this is the hardest time right now because we're approaching 1 year. I've got 2 daughters whose birthdays are in December. So December 11th, my husband passed away. And like I said, it just like he had a stroke due to other issues. But he had a stroke and was passed away within 48 hours. Total shock. We thought we were going to be just dealing with cancer, but we didn't expect the stroke to happen. And which I'm grateful that God didn't make him suffer like he would have with the stroke and the cancer had he survived, because his stroke was really bad. And he was in the hospital when it happened. But the little recovery, the shot they give you did not stop the stroke. It just kept going. And so he had major damage from the stroke. So his body wouldn't have been able to do chemo. We never got the biopsy to find out what type of cancer, but we are 99.9% sure it was cancer because the PET scan lit up. That's a whole story. We don't have to dive into that. But anyway, it was a big shock. But he died on the 11th, and my wedding anniversary was on December 13th. And then, of course, I wasn't going to bury him on my wedding anniversary, so we buried him on the 14th. And then I have, you know, 2 girls whose birthdays in December, and we have Christmas. And so it's just a very busy time, and it's also sad because he was a huge, huge family man, and everybody is having a hard time. And it's hard for me to, I feel like I'm being selfish whenever I feel like it's kind of about me, but it's not about me. It's about my children too. And so I'm trying to be a little bit more compassionate. I'm not a crier, so whenever they break down, I give my encouraging words and, you know, blah, 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 but it's just really hard because I don't want to cry. And I do not want to cry. I do cry, but I don't want to cry in front of them. But I have allowed myself for all of us to kind of have our moment. And then I say we've got to keep going. So pull ourselves up. We've got to keep moving forward. And that's all you can do is move forward and keep praying and keep living. But anyway, thank you for watching. I will talk to you guys later. God bless. Bye.